See the house right here? By the blocking, wraps around. Where the wall ends, it's no block, which is for added strength. It's stiff underneath the wall. You can kind of see the octagon right here, the main body of the house. We got to go up here. Hey, Jane, you mind tossing this up line? It's actually like all the plywood. I give you my old performance. Nice job.
And we are live.
Oh, look out.
Let me mute my phone.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I gotta make sure all my devices are down.
And just to make sure that my audio is good, because I think I put in the wrong port this week. Testing. 1, 2. Oh, wait. No, we should be streaming. What the hell? Why is this not updated? Ah, there we go. All right, testing 1, 2, testing 1, 2. All right, Ryan, go ahead and say something.
I'm saying something. Oh, I got a little rant tonight. I just had the damn thing of what I wanted.
I forgot I was muted.
Why were you trying to say something to me?
I wasn't trying to ask you anything. I just forgot I've had it muted.
You've probably gone into, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 41.
Hey, I do want to do like a moment of silence for Caleb Hammond and 9/11.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. And then the heads up to the Carolinas. Becky, chill my chips. Sarah's watching Treehouse Masters right now, and they're doing a preview for My Cat from Hell. Yeah, no, Kitty's up on his new blanket perch. Yeah, put the hump up. Oh, there it is. Show sheet. New.
Oh, my
All right,
LCD is taking forever.
All right, I'll be back in 1 second.
All righty.
What it is, how I'm angled, sitting in that chair is what? What? What did you say? Did you ask me what I was doing?
No, I said,
Yeah, baby. I don't know what it is, if it's the blanket there or what. I don't want to turn the chair around. All right. All right, I am back with a minute to spare.
We're going to be a little delayed, I think.
That's fine. Yeah, Xfinity's first playoff race is Richmond. This is the last race at Vegas to get into the chase.
All right. Do a quick check. All right, are you ready?
I'm ready. I think you said a little delay, man. It's like a 30-second delay.
All right, let's go.
It's like you're going to a WWE event with that 5-second delay.
A short break for intermission.
Dude.
All right, here we go.
Welcome to Jake.
If I bleed tonight, if I am sad tonight, I don't have a job to find. And if I work tonight, if I'm so tired tonight, I'll fall asleep when I'm home.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 41 of the Loose Lugs podcast. I'm your host, AJ. With me, as always, after a long, rainy weekend in Indy, is my co-host, Ryan.
AJ, what is happening, my friend? How was the weekend? Georgia put a whooping out in South Carolina like I thought they did. And your Patriots look pretty good.
Hey, it was all-around a good weekend for me.
Exactly. Michigan got back in the win column. All right, early rant right now. What the hell was Monday night? Prime time.
Eddie, I hope you're listening.
Primetime television against a rookie quarterback who's probably, him and Mayfield are probably going to be 1A, 1B, I think, in this draft class. But primetime television, new head coach, and you lay the biggest pile of dog feces I have ever seen this team do.
What's the old saying, Ryan? Same old Lions?
Same old Lions. You asked Tony and myself, why don't we get hyped up about this team? Monday night, prime example. It was awful. The first play of the game was good. After that, their defense doesn't know how to tackle. There are reports coming around now that Patricia worked them too hard in the training camp. Exactly. Boo-hoo-hoo. This is the new coach. This is who we're under right now. You're going to have to deal with it. It was an embarrassment. It was worse than Michigan's loss to Notre Dame. I'm going on that limb right now. We are going to go into San Francisco. We're not going to get a win until after the bye week. And if somehow miraculously we beat San Francisco on Sunday, I'll be shocked as anybody.
I did drop y'all's defense this week.
I would. AJ, I would hope so, man.
And it looked good.
Yeah, it looked good at the start of the game, and then
same old Lions.
I just. Yeah, the primetime spot, Monday Night Football, home opener. The Jets are in town, rookie quarterback. The Jets were calling out plays that the Lions were getting ready to do. What does that tell you about Jim Bob Cooter? Bye-bye. Don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. I've seen enough. Get rid of them.
It didn't take long this week.
What's that?
It didn't take long to get the rant out of the way this week.
Well, that's the early rant. That's like the
pre-rant.
Yeah, that's like the pre-show.
It's like a tailgate.
Yeah, this is like the weekend of WrestleMania. You know how they like WrestleMania weekend? WrestleMania, they got like 8 or 9 matches on the pre-show now. That's what this is right here. But I hope they can turn it around. I really do. But hey, on the brighter side, my fantasy team won both its money league games, and the wife Sarah won her first ever fantasy football matchup. She put up 100.
I won 2 out of 3 leagues.
I lost our free league that we're in.
Oh, Ryan.
Amari Cooper.
After all the bad things you talked.
It's only one game. I know that's what the Lions are trying to say right now. It's only one game, but...
One pride, one game.
Yeah, that's right. One pride. What pride? They didn't show any pride. They gave up.
Well, Ryan, before we get any further in this show, we had some sad events earlier this week, yesterday and Monday. The young racing fan that you all might have heard about who stopped his leukemia treatments, and his one request was to have race teams send stickers so they could put it on his casket. He passed away on Monday. Thoughts and prayers go out to his family.
Yes,
they a very hard time right now.
They did a moment of silence before both races too. It went through the garage early Monday, right before the Xfinity race that he had passed away. Like you said, AJ, he stopped the leukemia treatments, to send the stickers for his casket. They had a cool picture of him up on NBC. It's him in a car. His dream that he wanted to do was get inside a race car, and that was a cool picture that NBC Sports had. Like you said, man, thoughts and prayers to him and his family and all the fighters out there, man.
A couple of drivers had his name or hashtag Team Caleb on their name rails this weekend, which was really cool to see. And yesterday was the 17-year anniversary of September 11th, 2001, and for that we'd like to do a moment of silence. All right, so Ryan.
Yep.
We had football back.
All right.
We also had a release of a new NASCAR video game. You and myself are avid Xbox players. We got to play a little bit of that this weekend. I got to say, best racing game I've played in a while.
I'm enjoying it too. I love the cover too. I went to the store. I bought the disc for him. I got the ticket voucher. I doubt I'm going to use it, so we may do it. We're probably going to do another giveaway with that if I don't use it. Something AJ and I are going to discuss. But the dirt racing in that, oh man, is that fun? Bristol dirt race. Oh, I love that track running it too. So
yeah, I tell you, it's challenging too. I've had a real tough time with some of the racing in this game because it seems like the computer cars are way better than they were in years past.
Yeah, which is good. I like that. Make it more, more challenging there. And then it's cool to see like these underfunded teams make the game. I put a tweet out to Parker Kligerman. I think it was Thursday. It was Friday night. I was playing the game, and I'm like, oh, it's so cool to see the Parker Kligerman in the 75 truck make the game. And, he liked the tweet. He even retweeted me back. He's like, oh, man, thanks, dude, for checking that out. I'm like, hey, man, avid fan, so got to play the game.
Josh Williams being in it too. I thought that was cool.
Jordan Anderson, I like seeing that too as well. So
yeah. We also have
guess who else makes an appearance in the game? Because they only won one race this year. That's right, boys. You guessed it. Danica. And speaking of Danica, she's at the Green Bay Chicago game
Sunday
Night Football.
And Rogers had what we call a wreck.
It's like as soon after they showed her, Rogers goes down holding the knee. All three of my leagues I've been in this year, I drafted Rogers. Was hurt last year, coming back. I think he's going to win MVP this year, holding his knee. And I'm like, are you serious right now? And Tony's like, payback, so you know who. And I'm like, Tony, don't start with me right now. I got him in all three of my leagues, the two big money leagues. Oh, I had him with David Johnson last year. And you said, oh, David Johnson's not getting up. And it's a long story between Tony and I. But
versus Ryan.
I'm like, unreal. And then he goes off on the cart, and I'm like, man, he's gone for the year. He tore his ACL. Halftime's over. Michelle Tafoy's like, yep, Aaron Rodgers is coming back on the field. Woohoo!
Yeah, you got lucky there because I didn't think he was coming back.
I didn't either. I don't think he's going to play this weekend. I'm in my 2 quarterback league. I got him, Mahomes, and Sam Darnold. And Darnold looked pretty good, even though it was against the laydowns. So I'll be all right with Sam Darnold, I think. Fingers crossed, anyway.
Well, we got lucky this week, Ryan, because with football week 1 kicking off on Sunday, we would have had to have done a split screen action, but because of the rain that just pounded Indianapolis this weekend, we had none of that.
No, and it was weird, too, because I woke up early Saturday to turn on the Michigan game, and I'm like, I want to check out qualifying. So I checked Facebook, and Sarah's giving me a dirty look right now. I can already tell. And they're like, yeah, all track activities have been posted for Indy. So I go check the radar, and I'm like, oh, there's why it's canceled. And Sunday, I didn't think they were going to get it in, and they didn't. So
they were really it didn't look too good on Monday. I mean, I know it didn't rain, but those clouds looked like they were about to open up any minute.
I've been to a couple races like that where it's like the Bristol race I went to where cloud cover is just like, man, it's going to pour down any minute, and it never does.
Yeah. So, Ryan, with that being said, why do you say we get in some gas and go and recap this race weekend we just had? And it sure was a wet one.
And I'm tired of talking about the line, so we got to talk some positive here. Let's go.
Let's get into some gas and go. So I for sure hit the right sound effect this week. I did pay attention to that.
41 episodes, and you're now hitting the right buttons.
We are golden. So we had the Xfinity Series at Indianapolis. If you're new to the show, Gas and Go, this is where we recap what happened in the race weekend. It's pretty much the main event of our show for the most part. And so we had the Xfinity Series at Indianapolis, and Justin Allgaier on Monday, before the Cup race, wins his 5th race of the season, takes the regular season championship lead. That team is rolling right now.
Yes, they are, and they got one more race now to go to the make the regular season champion. And it sucks too because I'm trying to record the race for Monday because I know they're running it Monday. You know, I'm working Monday. Finally got my NBC Sports app back, so I was listening to it, and man, that 7 car, man, they found something in it, and he's going to be hard to beat. So, man, it was exciting too for what I saw in my breaks.
Yeah, I had to listen to the whole thing on the Sirius XM app, and I did tweet out to Sirius XM Channel 90 that when the headphones are in, boss man don't know.
Exactly.
And they threw a like on that, which was pretty cool. But I honestly don't mind the Monday races. I know it sucks for attendance reasons, but it gives me something to do while I'm working.
Yeah, and I'm working at a relaxed shop too, though, where I can have the headphones in and I, reconnected to the NBC Sports app. I heard, how they it was funny too because how they were doing the race because they had Letarte and Allen in the booth, but they had Bagley in turn 2 for the Xfinity race. I think it was Kligerman in 3, and Burton was in turn 4. So it's like I'm watching it on there, listening to it on the NBC Sports app, but I'm listening to it on the radio, how they had it, though. And, man, I tell you what, I don't know if it's you or me. I like the restrictor plates on these cars at Indy.
You know, I do too. And Justin Allgaier, without a doubt, had the best car all day, leading 41 laps. How about the 4-wide finish in stage 1?
Unbelievable. I went back and watched that, and what was it? John Hunter Nemechek goes way down low, probably as low as you can go without running into that.
It looked like
inside.
an Indy race.
Yeah,
like an IndyCar race.
Awesome finish for that, too.
I thought it was great, man. These restrictor plates, they need to stay on some of these tracks. So
maybe it's a sign that needs to come next year in the Cup Series.
Now, with restrictor plates, we've seen our fair share of big crashes, but at Indy, we're not used to seeing crashes like these in Cup cars. How about the wrecks of Cole Custer and Ryan Preece? Back-to-back cautions.
Preece's was scary because luckily they have a tire barrier there, because I think that's for their road course. I think that's coming out of one of the last turns to get back onto the little short chute down the main straight heading into turn 1. I think that's where he wrecked at on the track, but it's a good thing they put that tire barrier there, because that could have been worse than what it was, and he hit a ton too.
Yeah, both drivers, I was amazed. You know, it's amazing, and I say it every time there's a hard wreck, that it's amazing how much safety's improved in these last couple of years.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And then how about Elliott Sadler? He got taken out.
Elliott Sadler and Ty Dillon was a rough one, too.
Yeah. Sadler hit head on, and then, like you said, Custer had a pretty wild ride himself, too. And you got to think, though, them guys hit that little piece of grass, too, and with as much rain as they got, they hydroplaned on that. It's like they were going on, like, stepping on ice and shoes. Whoop, he slid all over the place. It was crazy.
Yeah, we're talking about how Justin Allgaier wins, Elliott Sadler wrecks, both JRM cars, both in the playoffs. Tyler Reddick, man, he's coming. I gotta say, that momentum has shifted.
He's turning it on at the right time.
Here we were a couple weeks ago talking about how we don't like how it looks for him going to these playoffs, and last 2 weeks, man, top 10 finishes. I think last weekend or the weekend before, he had a top 10 finish. And then
at Darlington?
Yeah, at Darlington, and now a third place finish?
Yeah, third place at Darlington. I just you have it up right there.
Yeah,
and then second Monday at Indy.
That team is they've found their groove, and they're peaking at just the right time.
Maybe they're getting information from the 7 car, because look what the 7 car has been doing. So
that 7 car, what has he won? 4 of the last 6?
Yeah, he's won. Was it Mid Ohio?
2 road courses, and then so it would be 3 of the last.
Let's see
last
here.
5. He's won.
Oops, I hit the wrong button, I think. Yep, I hit the wrong button on my my tablet here. I was gonna see how many he's won here lately. So give me a few minutes here, though.
You know, I didn't notice.
Then I'll find it.
I didn't know. I couldn't remember this before. I forgot he had an L1 penalty that took away one of his wins. I forgot that. At
Iowa. I think it was Dover, excuse me, Dover. It was him and Sadler race that we thought was the best. I thought was one of the best races of the year.
This package made for some great racing this weekend.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I can't explain. I wish NASCAR would implement this in 2019, and I don't know if they are or not. They haven't come out with the official changes for next year yet, naturally, but these need to stay at tracks like Indy, Pocono, Michigan,
California.
So, did you find anything out there, Ryan?
Yeah, he's won 3 races out of the last 5.
I've got a new favorite to win that Xfinity title.
So do I.
So your stage winners of this one, Ryan. First stage, John Hunter Nemechek in that 4-wide finish. Second stage, Daniel Hemrick, who really started to come on strong there at the end. And your race winner was Justin Allgaier. Your top 5, Justin Allgaier, Tyler Reddick, Ryan Blaney, Chase Elliott, and Daniel Hemrick. Out of your notable finishers, we have 9th place Chase Briscoe in the 60 car. A week after we're talking about what a curse that 60 car is.
Yeah, I bet you the 60 team listens to the Loose Lugs podcast and it's like, take that, Loose Lugs podcast.
Yeah, they're fueled by that.
That's right.
We had 13th place Ryan Siege and 18th place, 15th place for Joey Gase.
Mm-hmm.
So great runs by those teams that you don't really get to hear too much about. Your standings following Indianapolis with one race to go before the playoffs begin. Justin Allgaier, Christopher Bell, Tyler Reddick, Daniel Hemrick, Elliott Sadler, Cole Custer, Brandon Jones, Matt Tift, Ryan Truex, Ryan Reed, Ross Chastain, and Austin Cindric. Your next race, which is not in 2 weeks, like I had messaged you earlier.
Mm-hmm.
It is Las Vegas this Saturday, 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern on NBCSN. Yeah, I messed that one up a little bit earlier, Ryan.
Yeah, and you're telling me he was like, yeah, do your Xfinity predictions because we did the truck predictions. We're doing a Monster Energy Cup Series prediction, and I looked. I'm like, I swear, I thought they only do 12, 12 drivers and less amount of races, and sure they do. They start in Richmond, so that'd be a cool first track to go to for your playoff, Richmond. For the first chase race in the Xfinity Series.
It's just been such a crazy week that everything's rolled into one, and I even forgot the schedule. Like, I knew it was Las Vegas, but I was reading the Richmond time and date, which was right under Las Vegas, and I was like, why are they going next weekend to Las Vegas?
Yeah, the Cup cars are in Vegas this weekend.
But I digress. They are racing in Las Vegas this Saturday, like I said.
You said 5 o'clock on NBCSN?
5 o'clock, NBCSN. Now, Ryan,
yep.
Let's talk about this controversial finish in the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series. Brad Keselowski gets his first Brickyard win and the first for the captain, Roger Penske. That's amazing to think about, Ryan, that Roger Penske's never won the Brickyard 400.
Yeah, how many Indianapolis 500 wins does he have? I think they said 17 wins with 17 poles. He's won the road course race there, I think, 3 times. Never a Brickyard 400. I was shocked when I heard that. I'm like, wow.
And Brad is one crown jewel away. If he wins that Daytona 500, he's won the 3 big ones.
Yeah, I like it. Wasn't it a Southern 500? And let's just go to the Brickyard and do it right now.
And correct me if I'm wrong here. Did I hear this is Ford's first win in Indianapolis since 1999?
It might have been.
Was Dale Jarrett the last one to win?
I would have. Wait, Newman went. No, he was. No.
Newman was Dodge.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I thought I had heard that stat, and I took like a double take. Like, what?
Patrick, he moved Denny out of the way and Denny pouted.
Well, let's get to that. So, a caution comes out with Denny Hamlin pretty far in front of Clint Boyer.
A scary wreck, we'll say that. It was
very gnarly wreck between Landon Castle and Jeffrey Earnhardt.
Earnhardt got airborne.
Jeffrey got airborne, and I was listening to it on the radio, and I completely missed it. Like, I didn't miss the wreck happening. I just missed how bad it was. So when I went back to rewatch, I was like, oh, wow. Green, white, checker, restart. Keselowski, who had worked his way up through the field on the restart of before that last caution had come out, got his way up to third, restarts on the high side, gets into second place, door slams Denny Hamlin, boom, moves him out of the way a little bit, comes home with the checkered flag, and then Denny Hamlin unloads after this race.
Yes, he does. And newsflash for you, Denny. It's a good thing Senior wasn't behind you, because guess where you would have ended up? You wouldn't be running that little FedEx Toyota Camry. You would have been up into that wall if the 3 Dale Senior was behind you. Rubbing is racing. And with the last lap of a prestigious race like the Brickyard 400, you're going to get moved out of the way. And I have no issue with what Brad Keselowski did. The guy is hungry right now, and a hell of a race. And you got to think, Paul Wolf kept him out late in that final stage. Comes to pit road. He comes to pit road, and there was a piece of debris right at the start-finish line. Came out ahead of the pace car. Yeah, 8th or 9th spot coming through the field. Then the Castle, then he got up there. Then that big wreck happened between Castle and Jeffrey. Rubin's son is racing. Denny, if you don't like it, there's plenty of other acting gigs for you to do.
So Denny was mad, I guess a little annoyed with the way Keselowski raced him, but he really went off on Landon Castle, and to me, for no reason at all. And you heard the TV side of it. I heard the radio side of it. And all
the TV, I listened to the radio side too, and they were both identical, the same. He didn't mention Landon Castle on NBC. He just said 2 guys shouldn't be out here, pretty much. So
yeah, and so he bashes him on TV. Now this is what I heard from the radio side, and he said, I'm trying to remember verbatim what he said. I'm going to paraphrase it. He basically had said, I don't know what those two, excuse me, I don't know what those 2 were racing for, but they shouldn't have, thank you, Landon Castle, for costing us a win. I don't know why, I don't know why Landon decided he was just going to go wreck like that. Like, you whiny ass baby.
Yep. And here's the thing that gets me. You remember Richmond last year when Martin Truex Jr. dominant lead, Derek Cope blows the tire, hits the wall. Truex Jr. after the race bashes the guys that are up. Guess what? These guys are out there for one reason only. To win races, to show good for their sponsors. They have every right to be on that track that you do, Denny.
I agree with you, man. Hey, these sponsors and these teams want these guys in their cars, and you know what? You're going to have to deal with it. Rubin's racing. Wrecks happen no matter who's on the track. I mean, and Patrick had mentioned in our comments just now that Bubba Wallace crapped on David Starr on his team radio for no reason after David ran into the driver's door. That's another one. I didn't like Bubba getting on a guy like David Starr.
Yeah, exactly. David
said something along the lines of an ARCA driver takes us out.
Yeah, exactly. Are you serious? This is something that I don't get. I mean, yeah, I saw 80s, early 90s when NASCAR was at the top of the board right there. Guys like Earnhardt, Martin, Irvin, Rusty, Harry Gant, Richard Petty. Petty, unfortunately, later in his years. Bill Elliott, all these guys always bumping, beating, and banging into each other. Why can't somebody do a little tap to you and you get so irate? And Denny is the one complaining. Remember what he did last year at Martinsville? Does he not remember that?
Right, I'm not liking you right now.
I'm just saying. Does Denny Hamlin not remember what he did last year at Martinsville?
But remember, you're talking about the same guy who 2 weeks later at Phoenix, Elliott drives him up into the fence, and he complained about that one.
Of course, he complains. I just don't get what's.
I've got a question. I've got
an answer probably.
And this is something that I read on Twitter after the race. I can't remember who had tweeted it, so if you're the one who tweeted it, you're listening, credit to you. Let us know who you are. Is Denny Hamlin more hated than Kyle Busch? My answer is yes.
Well, you got all right. Let's state a couple facts here. A, have both of them had fans try to attack them?
Yes.
Okay, yes. Pit road at Martinsville. Why is it both the short tracks too? No less. Bristol and Martinsville. They both received their fair share of boos during the intros. I think it's a tie. I honestly do. I can't say it's 1A, 1B. I think it's a tie. They're both hated the same because they act the exact same way when things don't go their way. Like Kyle, when he won the regular season trophy. How was their race today? The smart aleck comments. Nobody likes that. I can go out there and drive the car.
I swear, Denny can win a race and still whine, though, about what went wrong and why he didn't like what happened on the track or whatever. It's
Well,
just, I don't get
my
it.
dad has a nickname for Denny Hamlin. Snot Bubble. Yep. Snot Bubble. I love it. I love it. I love it. And if these guys can't take a little bumping and banging at these tracks, then
What are you doing? What are you doing here?
Go do something else. Go work inside the Hollywood Hotel or or go work on top of the Peacock Pit Box. I don't know. Go play golf with somebody. I don't know. Whatever Danny Hamlin's good at. But I swear it's the same thing with these two. Nothing goes their way. They complain. They complain about it. I did hear today, though, on NASCAR America that Denny did a tweet saying that he apologized for how the comments came out towards Castle and Jeffrey Earnhardt. It's still the fact of the matter that he did say them. I understand it's the heat of the battle. It's ridiculous.
I agree. So, a little bit more about this race, Ryan. So, the rain that we had this weekend in Indianapolis caused no qualifying or practice, and I like it.
There was a couple things because like I said, it was almost the end of the day for us, and I turned off the app. I tried to save some juice on my phone, and I heard 10 laps we're gonna have, or 20 laps we're gonna have a caution, and then we're gonna do another 20, and then another caution. I swear, I thought they were gonna do that the entire race. The year Jimmy Johnson
Tony Stewart's big blow up on Goodyear.
Yep. That race right there. They should never have run that race if the tires were as bad as they thought they were.
You know, I like what they did with the competition cautions from a driver's standpoint, because the strategy that was being played, now naturally it didn't benefit Kevin Harvick, even though he thought it was going to with an uncontrolled tire.
Or William Byron.
Who had a speeding penalty the same way, I believe in stage 2. But it created a little bit of a drama factor.
Yes, it did.
Now, before this race began, Dale Jr. was driving the pace car, and did you see Kyle Busch giving him a bump down the backstretch?
Oh yeah, I'm not surprised. You know, it's a celebrity, a former driver getting in the car. So, you know, one of the guys on front row is gonna do a little. Take that. So you missed this yet? Pretty much.
I thought it was cool that it was Kyle Busch of all people, though, to do it.
Oh, of course.
But if it was Richmond, he would have spun him coming out of 4.
He probably would have. Oh, man.
Now, I want to say something about that because I'm watching the pace laps. I was on my lunch break at the time, so I was watching the NBC app. And I thought I saw him get the 1 to go sign when he crossed the stripe. And then they went back around for another pace lap. I don't think Junior wanted to get off the track.
I don't think so either. I
thought Rick Allen made a comment about it too, where he was like, "Well, Dale Jr. doesn't want to pull the car down this time, so 1 to go."
I don't think he wanted to get over to turn 3 and start broadcasting the race. So
I'm pretty sure he wanted to strap into the good old number 88 Nationwide Chevy.
or the number 8 Budweiser.
Yeah.
Throwback some memories right there.
Yes, it does. But this is definitely a track, Ryan. We were talking about a bump draft with a pace car. Mm-hmm. This is definitely a track that needs the Xfinity package.
Oh, 100%.
The Cup Series.
100%.
I think it would make this race. So I'm going to ask you another question. Was this a good race?
I thought, for the Brickyard, I thought it was one of the better races.
Don't base it off the finish. Base it off the race in general.
I'm not basing it off the finish. I thought there were some good battles back in the pack. The restarts, for me, the restarts here are always fun to watch. But then that, like I said too, the leader goes and pulls away by 4, 5, 6 seconds. Luckily, they had a lot of cautions because of the lack of the practice times this weekend, which kept the field more close together. Like you said, the pit strategy did play a factor. And there were some hard wrecks, like the bubble one, for example. That was a hard hit. And then, like we said, with Castle and Jeffrey were both hard wrecks. But yes, the Xfinity package needs to come to the Brickyard if they want to continue to consider this one of the biggest races of the year. I think if you see the restrictor plates on these cars next year, I think you'll see more fans in the stands.
Yeah, I think it would. And
like we've said, like we've said in the past, though, the Brickyard's a big place.
You're not selling that place out.
No, you're not. I mean, the stands would be a little bit more filled if, like you said, if the that package was there. I think, and just in my eyes.
Yeah. Yep. I think they need to bring it. It's just, I didn't like the race. I didn't like the racing, I guess. I didn't think that, maybe I shouldn't say I didn't like the racing. I just thought it was an Indy race. Let's put it that way. It was a typical Brickyard 400.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you add the restrictor plates to these cars, like you did with the All-Star race, you could have really, really good races.
Oh, great races! Like we've been saying in the past, Pocono, MIS, Indy, California, and then maybe one or two of the mile and a halves next year.
Yeah, don't do it to all of them. I wouldn't say do it to all of them, but I would say that some of them you could do it to. I'd
say run it at the Coca-Cola 600.
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly, I think the Coca-Cola 600 this year was by far the worst race of the year. And I was dirt track racing that night too. Oh, I was at the dirt track, I should say. And I kept checking the Fox Sports Go app, and I'm like, glad I'm not watching the race.
You didn't miss much.
Exactly. And that's the thing right there. The casual fan, would look at the race on Monday and be like, "Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Why is the leader up by this much?"
There just wasn't enough passing, I guess, amongst the top 10.
Yeah, it is hard to pass her. There's a lot of passes in the back.
You don't always see the passes in the back of the pack. You see them more towards the front of the pack on TV. I just think you need more passing up front.
Yeah, and there was one of the restarts. It was right before the wreck because it was Boyer and Hamlin, and right behind Boyer was Jamie McMurray. And I'm telling Sarah, I'm like, he's gonna put the bumper to somebody, and sure enough, Clint Boyer, bam. And I'm like, yeah. And I told her, I'm like, I seen it coming. And then I took Boyer out of the race, took McMurray himself out of the race, gave Fred the chance for that late race restart to get the win.
I tell you who really made this race interesting. It was Eric Jones on those last two restarts. He flew through the field.
And by the way, how cool is it to see the state of Michigan represented finish 1-2?
And that'll do it on the Loose Lugs podcast. Thank you, everybody, for joining us.
What? All right, drive.
Go lose to Notre Dame, would you?
No, it's okay. We've already done that this year, so
go lose to that place in Ohio.
Don't say it. Don't say it. I'm ignoring you.
Ohio.
Roll Tide.
That one hurt.
See, got you back.
So, you mentioned
what's Tua's name again?
What's that?
What's Tua's name again?
Taf la 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 la.
Touchdown pass in overtime.
So Clint Boyer, what a great race he had. He led 37 laps in this one. Really thought he had the car to win. Let's talk some struggles here, Ryan. Austin Dillon wrecked after, I don't know if you heard Radioactive, after getting mad at Chase Elliott for blocking him. And Martin Truex Jr., early on in the race, he complained before the race even started that his brakes felt a little squishy. And when you hear a driver radio in that's not a good sign. But it wasn't the brakes, I don't think, that caused the issue. He blew a tire, ends up going through the wall or into the wall, busts the radiator on the car. It's race over.
And then Bubba Wallace caught from what Blickenstuffer said yesterday on Race Hub is that Bubba ran over part of that wreck right there, and that what got into his brakes. the brake link at the brake line, and then that's
Dude,
when
he's
Bubba
got like
wrecks.
no luck when it comes to these brakes, Bubba Wallace.
No. No, I tell you what though, Bubba's like enough with the brakes.
So, Matt Kenseth won a stage, and I thought that was cool as hell, especially for the number 6 at a track you wouldn't expect to see a Roush Fenway car win a stage.
I thought he had one of the top 3 best cars of the day. I honestly did. I thought that's the best that car's looked in quite some time, and to see it to win the stage of 6 car, I'm like, that was cool to see. That was so cool to see.
He only ran 5 laps, but regardless, he was awesome all race long, competing in the top 10 most of the race.
I think he had a problem late in the race, which caused him
not
a good finish.
He did, but and after that, Ryan, after this race, we got the playoffs set.
Alex Bowman had a bad race, but luckily he had enough points to get into the 16th spot.
Motor.
Yep.
So, your stage winners. First stage, Clint Boyer. Second stage, Matt Kenseth. And your race winner was Brad Keselowski. Your top 5, Brad Keselowski, Eric Jones, Denny Hamlin, Kevin Harvick, Clint Boyer. Your standings, your playoff standings. Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick, Martin Truex Jr., Brad Keselowski, Clint Boyer, Joey Logano, Kurt Busch, Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, Eric Jones, Austin Dillon, Kyle Larson, Denny Hamlin, Eric Almirola, Jimmy Johnson, and Alex Bowman. Your next race is the first race of the playoffs, Las Vegas, Nevada, this Sunday, 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern on NBCSN. We're going to go over our playoff predictions, Ryan, a little bit later here in the show.
Of course. By the way, the first 3 playoff tracks, Vegas, Richmond, and the one of the 2 wild cards this playoffs, the Roval at Charlotte, and boy, am I going to do. I'm going to have my own double box that day because I want to see it.
Scott Hansen Ryan.
That's right. Scott Hansen Ryan
box
version.
Here, box here.
Oh man,
we call it the double box.
Yeah, we're ready for it. But no, I'm gonna
NASCAR box.
Exactly. I'm gonna have both the TVs hopefully out in the living room. Hopefully, get the cable hooked up to the other television, and we'll be all right there. We'll have the double box because I do not want to channel surf that day.
No,
the Lions are going to lose again, but we'll have the Roval line, and then we'll have Red Zone on.
Well, good. I don't know what to say to that because that Lion team this Monday night was pitiful.
You got a tough matchup.
Okay, hold on. You guys suck. Okay.
Yeah, we do. Tony and I tried to tell you on Xbox.
This is the perfect game for the Lions to go out and win on a Monday night.
Yep.
Rookie quarterback. First play of the game. His first career NFL pass. Floater interception, pick 6. All right.
Ford Field going absolute crazy. Like,
and then you lay an egg.
You want to hear something funny? So Facebook, before the season starts, the preseason's over. People on the Lions Facebook page, what are the Lions going to do this year? There are some people out there on Facebook that said the Lions were going to go 13-3.
Oh my God.
Or 12-4.
Ryan, let's move to Tire Rub.
This is what you call drinking the Kool-Aid. Stop doing it.
The team has not won a playoff fan
since 1991 or 2.
One playoff win in the Super Bowl era.
Get over it. They're not a 12-win football team yet. Probably never in my lifetime.
Being that we are a NASCAR podcast, let's stay on track here a little bit, Ryan. We got some news to go over this week.
I felt like we were just at the Roval right there.
Here's some Tire Rub.
Left side. Pull this left fender out, left side.
All right, Tire Rub, this is where we go over the news of the week. We've got some driver changes this week and a driver not returning quite yet. Casey Kane is out for the next 3 races.
Dehydration. I guess he said he suffered it at Darlington.
Now, I don't want to I mean, I want him to take care of his health.
No.
And I'm sure there's something wrong. But being that this is his last season, Ryan, do you think maybe they're saying it's dehydration or something like that to maybe get Regan Smith familiar with the 95 car, being that he's been out of a car for 2 years? Maybe they're going to put him in that car?
They could be, but I've heard rumors going around right now. I've reading it on Facebook, seeing it on the daily shows that they already have their mindset on Daniel Suarez. Everybody's thinking that Truex is signed, sealed, and delivered into the 19 car next year.
Unless I hear something official, I'm not saying nothing, especially on this show.
Exactly. I would love to see Regan Smith in that car. It's a shame he has not been in a car. I think he does a great job for Fox on the FS1 program.
20th in his first race in 2 years in the number 95 car.
They were competitive too. He was up there. He was mixing it up with guys for going into the playoffs. I think it's a good move by the 95 team to get him into that car. See what happens, man. You just don't know.
And like I said, I'm sure it's actual health issues, and I don't want to say I don't want to conspire and say it's not. It's weird because the week before Darlington, or was it 2 weeks before? It was during the off week. It was announced that Casey wasn't going to be back next year.
Yeah, it was the day after Sadler.
He's retiring, and then after Darlington, he has dehydration issues, kept him out of last weekend in Indy. But now he's out the next 3 races. It's just, I don't know. It's just maybe it's a coincidence in the timing of everything.
Could be.
But I mean, it's just a thought I had. It's not something that I fully believe that it's probably dehydration is what's going on.
Well, I hope
that's a brutal mother right there.
Yeah, exactly. I hope Casey gets healthy. We know he's still going to run. He loves running the dirt track. He loves running his dirt car. I'm sure you'll see him make an appearance in the Daytona 500. Maybe somebody,
Maybe it's not even dehydration, Ryan. Maybe it's something more serious.
It could be. Maybe, I don't know, it could be concussions, symptoms. You never know.
So earlier in this week, we found out that Go Fast Racing and Matt DiBenedetto are parting ways after the 2018 season. Ryan, I heard a rumor about him going to the 41.
That would be awesome.
Give him a top ride. Give the dude a top ride.
Give him a chance. He runs great at Bristol. He loves running Bristol. He's an entertaining guy. He really is, especially on social media. I know you follow him on Twitter. He's entertaining. Let's like I've said about Landon Castle and a couple of these other guys. See what they can do in top rides. Look at, for example, Ross Chastain at Darlington when he drove the 42 car. 1-2 stages. Then the issue he had with the 98 Hunt Brothers Pizza Kevin Harvick machine. So
yeah, and it was just a rumor, nothing set in stone for DiBenedetto in 2019. I heard that rumor and it piqued my interest a little bit.
Yeah, there's another one too.
This is the big one to me. Well, not so much the big one, but the biggest news of the weekend. Jamie McMurray not returning to Chip Ganassi Racing in 2019. Chip Ganassi did say, however, he has a ride for the Daytona 500, and after that, he would like him to take an advisory role with Chip Ganassi Racing. Busch to the 1. I predicted it.
You think Kurt Busch is going to the 1? What about if the ultimate swerve happens? Kurt Busch to the 19 or Martin Truex Jr. to the 1 car.
He's already been with that team once.
That he is.
Bass Pro Shops has already sponsored his car when he was in the 1.
Yep. I tell you what, it's going to, like we said, I think we've said this the last few episodes of the show, going to be an interesting offseason to say, and especially with them only running 40 cars. There's going to be some of these drivers this year aren't going to be, in, cars next year. Might have to go to the Xfinity Truck Series or some type of other form of racing. Who knows?
Yeah. I think that about does it for our news this week. It wasn't really a loud news week this week.
Let's see if I heard anything. I haven't heard anything news-wise, no.
I haven't heard anything other than that. And I even, when you were talking in our last segment, I was looking through, seeing if there was anything new that had popped up, because that's all I had.
Oh, I got breaking news. Matt Stafford threw another pick.
Going to social media. Let's get into some social media, Ryan. All right, so we are up to 745 downloads on Podbean, iTunes, and Stitcher, 251 followers on Twitter, 58 likes on Facebook, and 21 subscribers on YouTube. New follower shoutouts this week include NASCAR Wars at NASCAR Wars. We have NASCAR fan comments at comments_fan. And we have, my voice again, Chef Joel at Joel Trocino. Did not mess up any names this week.
It's a good thing you didn't do the high squeak.
I don't know what it is. Like, I keep trying to take drinks of water to fix it, but every so often, if I keep going, it does it. It's like my throat.
Yeah, I got my water bottle ready to go, so it's been ready.
Our podcast shoutouts this week include the Lap Traffic Podcast, the PETM Podcast, the My Opinion and Therefore Fact Podcast, the All Turns No Breaks Podcast, the Bump and Run Podcast and Creditcast, the Three Wide Show, the NASCAR Opinion Podcast, the Final Lap Weekly, the Side Drop Podcast, and a new one this week, Ryan.
Right.
I'm sure folks at home are going to be familiar with who this person is. Go check out the Masscast with Rick Mast and his son Ricky Mast. I love listening to it every week. It's become one of my new top favorites to listen to every week. So go check it out when you get the chance. You will not be disappointed with the stories that Rick Mast tells.
Yeah, I wonder, that'd be cool, like, him comparing the cars from back then to nowadays, and, you know, the difference opinion of the drivers now and everything like that. That's always a good show to listen to.
For sure, for sure. You can find us on iTunes, Podbean, and Stitcher, and YouTube by searching in the Loose Lugs Podcast. Make sure you follow and subscribe to us. Click the notification bell so this way you get notified every time we upload new content. We would greatly appreciate it. On Twitter, we are at Lugs Podcast, and you can tweet us about the show using hashtag LugsPod. On Facebook, we are the Loose Lugs Podcast in your search bar, and you'll see our logo pop up. Go ahead and give us the thumbs up on it. Our personals, myself, I'm Grey Goose F150 on Twitter, and Ryan.
R. Rencola 88.
Ryan, my friend.
Yes, it's time.
It is time.
Ah, yes. You know what time it is.
It is rant time for Ryan. Ryan, take it away.
All right. First of all, right now, the wife has Treehouse Masters on right now. There's a treehouse with an elevator in it.
Are you kidding me?
I am dead serious. It's on Animal Planet. First of all, why is Treehouse Masters on Animal Planet?
Dale Jr. was on that show.
Yeah, it's Antonio Brown was on it the other day.
Antonio Brown has one? My God.
Oh, come on, you know that.
That's where Le'Veon's hiding.
Yeah, there he is. Hey, there's another one. And guys, first of all, before I get in my rant this weekend, I want to give my thoughts and prayers, a heads up to everybody in the Carolinas right now. Hurricane Florence bearing down on them. Going to be a bad storm. They're saying Category 4 or 5. I've seen the last I've seen of it. So if you're in the Carolinas, East Coast guys, be safe, hunker down. I know a lot of tracks are doing this opening
out.
Exactly.
If you are in South Carolina in the way of that storm, leave.
Exactly. I know a lot of tracks are opening up their campgrounds. Atlanta, Talladega. I think Charlotte may have opened up theirs. I'm not sure. Guys, get out, get safe, get shelter. You can always replace a house. You can't replace the life.
This is not a joke. Being in Florida, we get these on a regular basis, it seems. And I cannot stress enough, South Carolina, they've not had something like this in many years. They're predicting 60 inches of total rainfall. There's going to be flooding. It's going to be bad being that they're so close to the water. If you can get out, get out.
Get out.
Because time's running out.
Yeah, like I said, you can, replace a house, memorabilia. You can replace all that. You can't replace the life, guys. And like I said, like AJ said, get out if you can, please. So, AJ says it's my time of the show. So this is the rant segment. And I started getting into it a little bit about the 11 car. And I don't know. I really don't know if it's me. Patrick posted it on the group or the chat right here that Denny pouted. And that's exactly what he did. I'm surprised he wasn't stomping his feet like, oh, no, look at me. I didn't win the race. I got moved out of the way. I can't deal with it no more. Deal with it. As I said earlier in the show, if you're back in the 80s, 90s, anywhere where Dale Sr. was, Rusty Wallace, any of these guys, Kel Yarbrough, all these guys would have knocked your ass out of the way, slammed you into that wall, and then you'd have been like, oh, he hit me. He hit me too hard. Deal with it. It's not all Denny Hamlin. It's all these drivers now still complaining that they're getting raced too hard. Guess what? That was the last race to get into the playoffs. And if you're one of those guys on the outside looking in, like a Jamie McMurray, like a Ryan Newman, unfortunately a Byron, all these other guys that are out on looking in, like a Ty Dillon, Bush, or AJ Allmendinger, you don't think they would have put the bumper to you? You're damn right they would have put the bumper to you. Deal with it. You're a professional race car driver. Deal with it. You've been racing long enough. Deal with it. Everybody. Man. And the lines still suck.
Oh, man. I mute my mic every time you go in your rant just because I don't want to be laughing all the way through it. It's great.
Okay. And did you watch Sunday Night Football? And like we said earlier, as soon as they showed her,
Super Bears, Super Bowl.
Oh yeah. Yeah, speaking of which, I missed it, but
Dave, if you're listening, way to call game.
Yeah, a good buddy of ours is a Bear fan, and apparently he called Tony. Said, what was it?
Super Bears Super Bowl
when it was 17 at halftime. And I think that's before he thought Aaron Rodgers was coming back. I think if he knew Aaron Rodgers was coming back in that game, I don't think he would have said it. Well, maybe.
Super Bears
and
Super Bowl.
There's another topic I want to get into. And that is the National Hockey League. I know training camp opens up this week for a lot of the teams. I know they've done a lot of rookie games, but a shocker. Oh, yeah. Oh, there's the
yep. Can't get it to focus on the camera for the stream, but there was a picture made.
Posted on the Twitter page.
Just curse it.
And then a shocker yesterday, Steve Yzerman stepping down as general manager of the Tampa Bay Lightning. He is remaining in the front office this year till his contract's out. The Detroit Red Wings Facebook page has already posted that after next year, he is coming back home to Detroit. And for me, as a Red Wing fan, hockey fan in general, it is going to be so cool to see the captain back in Detroit. I know he's kept his house here. His wife and daughter still live up here in the state of Michigan. I think it's awesome to see.
I believe that'll be cool to see next year, especially for you guys. It gives you guys hope for next year.
Yep. But there's another thing. We were getting that argument yesterday about Brad Marchand. I can't stand the guy, but what a great talent he is, and boy, would I love to see him in a uniform of one of my teams.
Thank you. Thank you for agreeing with me.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Oh, and there's another thing. Patrick Mahomes not that good?
Yeah. All right. Let's see if we agree on anything in the white flag, Ryan.
Oh, yeah.
Keep working the Bears in line with you. Coming to the white. Only two.
All right, we're at the point of the white flag in our show. This is basically meaning one segment to go. In the white flag segment, we go over our predictions for the upcoming race weekend in Truck, Xfinity, and Cup. But this week, we also have our Cup Series playoff prediction. Ryan, in the Truck Series, though, all series are in Las Vegas this weekend. For the Truck Series, Ryan, who do you have?
I'm looking forward to an entertaining truck race. It's been a while since they've been on the track, but give me the 52 of Stuart Friesen.
You know, I was thinking Stuart Friesen earlier, but I decided to back off of that and go with the 18 of Noah Gragson.
All right. Oh, sorry. All right.
On the Xfinity side, Ryan, where are you going?
Xfinity Series. Give me Elliott. Go Tyler Reddick.
Damn it.
I thought Saylor, and I'm like, no, give me Reddick.
All right, now I got to go through the entry list. And, that's who I had already written down.
Oh, yeah, it depends. Yeah, you didn't send me a show sheet.
I know I didn't. I realized that like a minute in the show, and I was like, we're winging it this week with Ryan.
Uh-oh.
Give me Ross Chastain in the 42.
AJ, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Give me Ross Chastain in the 42.
You're going to go Ross Chastain, kick pick.
On the Cup side, Ryan. On the Cup
Can
side,
you hear me?
Ryan. Yeah, I got you. On the Cup side, where are you
Okay,
going?
all right, yeah. Give me Martin Truex Jr., and for my dark horse, give me the 48 of Jimmy Johnson.
All right, give me, for the first playoff race, the 18 of Kyle Busch, and my sleeper, the 12 of Ryan Blaney.
All right.
All right, Ryan. Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series playoffs. The standings. Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick, Martin Truex Jr., Brad Keselowski, Clint Boyer, Joey Logano, Kurt Busch, Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, Eric Jones, Austin Dillon, Kyle Larson, Denny Hamlin, Eric Almirola, Jimmy Johnson, Alex Bowman. Who were your first four out?
My first four out. Nothing against these drivers at all. Great job getting into the final 16, the playoffs. But they're going to be Eric Jones. Even though he won Daytona, I don't know if he's ready for it yet. Second out, Eric Almirola. Been great addition to Stewart Haas Racing, but the other Stewart Haas cars have shown a little bit more promise than Eric Almirola has. Third out, the Daytona 5 winner of Austin Dillon. Hasn't shown anything on the mile and a half, the short track program. Ran good at Michigan, but guess what? There's no 2-mile oval or a restrictor plate this round of the playoffs. And last out, this one, unfortunately, it's going to be the 88 Alex Bowman. Awesome for the 88 to get back into the playoffs. It's nice to see the Hendrick car back in there. I just think he's had the finishes. He's just not up front where you need to be running at this time of the year to advance. And those are my first four out. AJ, your first four out.
My first four out, Austin Dillon. That one was easy. He's not even in the top 15 or in the top 16 in the regular playoff format. I don't see him advancing past the first round of the playoffs. Second man out, Denny Hamlin. Hasn't really been able to string together the performances. Yes, he qualifies great, but it seems like every time he qualifies good, he doesn't finish well. So, third out, Eric Almirola. Great story, great bounce back year for Eric in the 10 car for Stewart Haas Racing. I just think that there is 12 guys who are going to advance that aren't him, just purely based on wins and points, finishing position. My fourth one out, like you said, Alex Bowman. I just don't think Bowman can move on unless he wins.
Yeah. And I tell you what, though, I mean, isn't that funny, though? The 10 car in the playoffs.
Boy, what it's night and day.
I'm having a head scratch here, guys. As you can see, I'm doing the scratch in my head. Okay, moving on.
Ryan, in the second round, who are your next four out?
What tracks are we in the second round there, AJ?
Let's see. You got Talladega.
I'll get the schedule. I know Dega. I think it's Dega, Kansas, Dover. Dover, Dega, Kansas, I think.
Yeah. I was going to say Kansas, but I didn't want to be wrong, so I was letting you look it up.
All right.
So who are your next four out?
So my next four out are going to be the 11 of Denny Hamlin. Same reason AJ said. It's just I just think he's going to finish high enough in that first round to move on to this round, but he's going to be out in this round. The other car I got out is Kurt Busch. Cool to see him win at Bristol, especially with the Grinch hair he had going that night. I still think the Ford's the strong suit of that camp, but like I said, Kurt Busch is going to be out. Ryan Blaney out, and then I have the other Penske car out as well this round, and Joey Logano, even though he did win the first Talladega race. So that means I have moving on would be Jimmy Johnson. So I tell you what, when playoff comes, watch out for that 48.
So I got a little bit of an opposite thing for you here.
Right.
Kind of opposite to what you said. I've got Kurt Busch out.
All right, both have that one.
I have Ryan Blaney out.
I have that one.
I have Jimmy Johnson out.
Okay.
And I have Eric Jones out.
All right.
I do think Johnson gets a win, though, in the first round of the playoffs.
All right.
All right, so now you're in your Eliminator 8 round, or Challenger 8, or whatever it is.
Yeah, whatever. It's the final 8. How's that? How about the Elite 8?
The Elite 8. Yeah, the Elite 8.
It's already... Wait, that's already taken. Basketball. All right. So it's going to be, I think, Texas, Phoenix. I know, Martinsville, Texas, Phoenix in that order, I do believe.
Who is coming out of there in your final 4?
My final 4 are going to be Kevin Harvick, Kyle Busch, Chase Elliott, and Brad Keselowski. The reason why I picked those 4, Harvick has won 7 races this year, the best Ford camp out right now. Kyle Busch has been the best Toyota. Chase Elliott, there's something special going on right now with that team. Don't know what it is, but there's something special going on right there. Brad Keselowski, the mojo, is going right now on that team, and I think he's going to ride it all the way into the playoffs.
I like your Austin
so that
Powers
means
reference.
Thank you. So the final 4 out are going to be Johnson, Kyle Larson, Clint Boyer. Great year, good, awesome to see Clint back in the playoffs. And then I don't think the 78 team can overcome what's going on right now with them closing down shop.
Well, Patrick isn't going to like you too much after that one.
I know Patrick's not going to like me too much, but hey, I'm sorry, Patrick. It's just it's my opinions. So
this round, Keselowski, Logano, Boyer, Larson, leaving my final 4 as Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick, Martin Truex Jr., the big 3. And I picked a homer pick with Chase Elliott being in my final 4. I'm allowed a homer pick, damn it. Ryan.
Yep.
Who is your champion?
My champion, Kevin Harvick.
We agree. Kevin Harvick is my champion as well.
Yep. I'm going to state a couple points here. Stuart Haas Fords have been fast all year. There's no denying that. The amount of points he's obtained throughout the regular season, same with him and Kyle Busch. I just think the Fords are fast. Phoenix, he runs good at all these tracks. There's minus the Roval because that's a wild card, and like I said, Talladega is the wild card. I just think he's due.
I don't think it's hard to say that Harvick's winning. Most wins on the year.
Yeah.
Runs great everywhere this season. It's just give it to Harvick. I said it earlier this year after his back-to-back wins.
And that's what this year has been on. Look at this. Keselowski, Southern 500, Brickyard 400. What's he going to do? Win Vegas this weekend? 3 in a row?
Hey, he could, and then that throws a wrench into all of our plans.
I got him in the final 4. Do you like how this is set up with the points?
Yes. I am a fan of this point system. I know some people aren't. I know a lot of people aren't, but I like the way they set up the points. Wins need to mean everything. When we had back in 2003 Matt Kenseth win with 1 win, I didn't really like the champion that year. Didn't Jeff Gordon win more races than him that year?
Yeah,
Gordon win the most out of anybody.
Yeah. All right. So, what? Harvick has 7 wins. How many wins does this cow have? 6, 5 or 6?
Yeah.
And I know they're factoring the stage points in there, the stage wins in there as well. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we said it last year, like with Truex. He won so many stages that the last 3 races, he didn't have to do anything, and we already penciled him in.
Yeah, he was already... yet.
Yep. I mean, granted, the final race, it comes down to the final race, the highest finisher. That's what I do like. It
makes Homestead mean more than it ever did before.
Yeah.
I mean, 2014, when they implemented this, it was great because we used to always know who the champion was going into Homestead.
Yep.
So it's the unpredictability that I like.
My personal opinion. I mean, I like the points, like what, 2,050 for Busch and Harvick, I think, but down to what Bowman has 2,001, and same with Jimmy. Those guys are going to have to get stage points, get stage wins in order to do something, to move on, and have the guys in front of them have bad luck.
Yeah, my headphones just died, Ryan.
Oh, did they really? Now can you? Oh no, AJ's got no headphones on.
If there's an echo in here for the last 2 minutes of this show, I do apologize.
But I'd like to see the top 6 team. You race your points, start over, not completely start over on points. Your stage wins and your wins. For example, Harvick has 7 wins. Add 7 points right there, plus the stage points. Add those all up right there, and that's how you determine 1 through 16.
Agreed.
You do something like that. You could do something like that with the points, keep them together. But like you said, it doesn't matter anyway. Once the final 4 get to Homestead, whoever finishes the highest out of those 4 is the champion. They can finish 35th, 36th, and 37th. They can all get taken out in the same wreck. I doubt it'll happen.
I agree with you. Well, Ryan, being that my headphones are off and I don't want this to echo anymore, I think it's time to wrap this show up.
Oh, yes. Guys, hopefully everybody has a great week. Let's get ready for some playoff racing. Another Lions loss. Guys in the Carolinas, like we said again, please be safe. We will hopefully see everyone at the track in a few weeks.
The special thanks goes out to Patrick Brandon for talking with us in the YouTube chat box during the show. Thanks to everyone who came out and watched us and shared this week. We appreciate all of you tuning in every week, and thank you if you're listening to this podcast on iTunes, Podbean, or Stitcher. We appreciate every bit of it.
Have a good one.
Wonder why I can't feel